Morning guys, by some strange twist in the algorithm, you've tripped into the John Freitag channel. And I'm still working down here at the barbecue, working on this here Grooms Room. That's what we're calling it. So we started doing siding, doing board and batt. Had my neighbor Dougie saw up a bunch of boards, so I got this one side just about done. And I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I mean, it's just the board so far. I didn't put the batts on yet. The batts will go on and cover the cracks. But what I want to do first, to make it easier for me, is to get some stain. We want to stain it white. So I'm going to let these boards hang here and dry, probably a couple months. I might even wait till fall, I don't know, and then I'll roll on some stain and get it all stained up nice. Now the bottom board is a treated board because I'm going to bring the dirt right on up, probably right up halfway up that board, you know, and kind of clean up this whole area, make it look nicer. So I got this back one to do. I'm ready to put the bottom board on, which will be the baseboard. It already has a chamfer on it so that water runs off. That's what I'm doing with this so far. So with the siding put on here already on this one side, I've got 3 sides to go. This one was that weird spot where the concrete was sticking out underneath, and I just didn't know what else to do with it. So I did a 30-degree angle on this treated lumber right here, and then I'm going to put another piece of lumber up under it just to block that all off. And then this isn't going to get dirt because this is concrete. It's not in great shape, but we're going to clean it up, and it's going to be good enough for quite a while. Maybe I'll top it someday, maybe I won't. So anyway, so this is going to have this board here, and then the siding's going to come up on the side, obviously. But I do have to add more cleats, like this one board here. There's got to be another cleat at 2 foot and at 4 feet, and then a top cleat. Also got to get the rest of the tar paper put on. So that's going to be my day today. Another thing I think I'll do today is measure up the roof, because I'm going to put a galvanized steel roof on it, and it's probably time to go ahead and measure that up, see how long of sheets I need. I gotta build this corner out because this was a different configuration. There used to actually be a shed hooked to this shed, really crappy with a really low ceiling, and we tore that thing down, got rid of it. This was the floor for that. Also what we did with this thing is we jacked it up about 1 foot. So made it a little taller. Did that by putting studs on the inside. I'll show you. See that little knee wall? We jacked it up this far. Put new top bottom plate, just stuck little walls under it. Connor did all that work. Did that a couple years ago. Part of it is I built it all the way down because this was an open wall. So those studs go all the way down to the floor. But we're getting there. Gonna make it a nice little room. Ooh, it's cold in here. I can tell already this spray foam really holds the heat or the cold. If I keep this door closed, it'll stay cold in here all day, even if it gets up to 75 degrees outside today. I got my baseboard on over here, and I did this big monstrosity. It looks better than the concrete that was just all even, and Connor said, why don't you just scribe around the concrete? It wouldn't have looked as good. This board here, I'm able to hang, and it's gonna be fine. And then this is gonna wind up being a flower bed right out here. So we'll be throwing down some landscape fabric and throwing some dirt over it. And eventually some flowers and mulch probably. I was able to screw it from the middle, just from the middle up. And every screw I put on made sure it lines up with studs. So once I put the black paper on here, I'm not hunting for studs. I'll know where they are. So that's just an easy way to mark the studs. Now here's something I did that was kind of silly, stupid maybe. On this baseboard, I've got it coming all the way over to here as black paper's in the way, but you can see what I'm talking about. See what's wrong with this picture? When I come across to my next baseboard, it's gonna come over here, and it's gonna be, this one will be 1 inch short. So, what can I do? Do I cut an inch sliver, or do I cut it back and put a full bigger piece in there? If I cut an inch sliver, it's gonna break and fall apart and dry out and crack and fall out and be a junk. So I think what I'm gonna do is set my saw. I'll cut this off square. But all that to say, I think I'll cut that back and hang a proper piece in here that'll come out past this, the 1.5 inches I need to hang my next piece going that way, over to that one. And that's the leftover piece I'll use. The heck, there's a nail hole in it or something. Okay, so that was no big deal. Was able to do it. This is perfect again. It's sticking out far enough. It's actually a little too far, I think. that's okay. I can easily trim it later. So my next job, I guess I'll hang that baseboard that goes on here. Then I can start putting on black paper and cleats and boards. And I got to tune this up. Oh my gosh, I got a lot of work to do. So on these baseboards, I'll put a 30-degree chamfer on them. So when the boards sit here, there's a drip edge there that hopefully the water doesn't puddle. It just rolls off. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it on this one. See, I got that chamfer there. Not too hard to do. I just rip it with the saw. I set the blade at 30 degrees and then I just follow the one mark on it. And it seemed to work out pretty close. So since I don't have a helper, I've got this board screwed down to the lumber pile, just so it doesn't move around and flop around on me. I've got my saw table set at 30 degrees, and we're gonna rip it. I'm just gonna go right to the edge of that, right there. I'm gonna put the edge of that right on here and hold it with my finger and start ripping. Okay, I gotta hold that table nice and flat on there. I've had a bunch of different saws in my life, but I like this one the best. It's a Makita 507F. Works great, cuts nice and straight. It's just a great saw, and it's relatively, they're like 150 bucks down at the hardware store. So let's see how I did. Doing an angle cut like that, it's kind of hard to keep consistent, but I think that looks okay. I got my chamfer, it's about a ½ inch back. I think we'll be good. Now I got to cut it the length and hang it. Well, I'm getting there. I got my tar paper on the side, looking good. I get my cleats on. I got to finish putting my screws in, but I have them all hung, and I got this down here. This is looking pretty good. So our siding is going to come down and overhang the bottom board, kind of like that. And I think I'll leave that. I'm not going to do an angle cut or anything. I'll just leave it like that because that'll let the water run easier. And there's always water. Okay, so I had the spray foam up in here, which was great, and I've got to trim some of the spray foam back. So what I'm doing is I've got this board here. I use it as a gauge, and I could just slam it right up against my cleats just like a regular board will do. That's going to be in my way when I go to put a board up, so I got to trim that all the way back so I can put the boards up in. This stuff's going to be in my way, and I don't want that sticking out because that'll show if I don't cut it back. What I've got here is some plywood here, and I don't like the looks of it, so I went ahead and put a board up in there, and I'm going to do that on these 3 bays. Well, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 bays total, but I'm going to get it on these bays. But these rafter tails are not even. If I go up here and take a sight down them, I can tell there's a couple that are shorter and longer. So I'm going to pull a line on this, a string, and see just where they're at. I might have to do some trimming. So I'm working on the man shed. So I had this corner that was out, and I kind of just built it out. I got to get shorter screws. I don't want them blowing all the way through because you'll see them. So I put a cleat in, and I put this board on, and I evened it all up, took a string. I got it relatively straight and even. So straight enough, it's as straight as this side, which is the original side. In fact, I'm straighter, but that doesn't really matter a whole lot. So anyway, I got this board on here. I got that evened out up there. So I got this corner built out. I wanted to do that. Once I start putting the boards on, it won't take that long. So I got a little picture here drawn out. With any luck, when I cut this out, it'll actually match up here, where I've got a high spot on this side, down underneath the rafter tail, and then up to that side, which is lower. Oh, we'll see how it goes. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around on that video. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one.